Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today we are looking at the new monthly report for Star Citizen's Persistent Universe. What have CIG's development teams been focused on for the last couple of months? And what are they focused on now in January 2024 and for Q1 of this year? So this was sort of like a couple of monthly reports coming together. This is something that Cloud Imperium do towards the end of the year. They basically move the November and December monthly report into January. There is some pretty juicy information here. Let's take a look at what the ship teams have been working on. So the RSI Polaris has passed its white box review gate and progressed into the grey box phase, where all of the surface modelling and animations will be completed. Emphasis was on modularity for the interior to improve the reuse and scalability of the ship and its components. So what do we mean by this? Well, Cloud Imperium are working on a load of other RSI ships as well, the larger ones, and after they finish the Polaris, they're going to be moving on to the Perseus. They're going to be doing the Galaxy. We know the Polaris is planned to be in game later this year as well. Really excited for that awesome looking torpedo corvette. Work started on the gold standard pass for the Aegis Sabre Raven, which was that promo ship, which includes a component pass and dashboard polish. Interestingly, this ship was seen again on, not sale, but being given away at DreamHack with the Intel booth there. Or they were giving it away for some sort of giveaway with PCs. There was some giveaways with the Sabre Raven going on again. Leads me to believe that sort of Intel have say about how the Sabre Raven is distributed. Maybe we will see more Sabre Ravens in the future with other Intel products like they did with the Optane drive many moons ago. Now, it says 3 new variants were worked on, 1 entered production, another continued through Grey Box, and the last progressed into Lot 0. I'm assuming that's not Sabre Raven sort of variants. I'm assuming that's another ship or vehicle. They also wrapped up work on the Gatak Sulan and structural salvage for the Aegis Reclaimer, which you can see in the current 3.22 build. The mission features team began implementing a deadline system within a few missions across the verse, which will ensure missions can't be kept indefinitely if players accepted them and not engaging with them. This is for a few reasons. For example, players can lock up other missions for other players, and narratively it doesn't make sense that a contractor would wait 5 hours for a player to kill someone when they know their exact position. However, this is not a universally implemented system. Each mission's deadline will be individually considered. The Steal and Recover mission continued to be polished and variants are currently being made. The new player experience was also polished, with the team adding new parts to introduce some of the more important in-game systems. They then turned to cleaning up and polishing the existing infiltrate and defend missions, and with Data Heist's release, the team kicked off a counter mission using one of the modular missions. Jump Point saw changes to how players engage in combat, while the journey started to make each location feel unique. They began making a foot time trial race, utilising more of the Ledge Grab V2 feature. They've also been converting missions to use the freight elevator and sort of just be appropriate for that. The Blockade Runner, Xenothreat, and other missions are being assessed to determine what needs to be updated to assure they fully align with that new feature ahead of its release. The economy team finished price balancing armors and vehicles. They then began looking into the prices of FPS weapons as part of balancing the wider economy to bring all systems together. Contextual inventory inheritance was also designed to tag items in shops that will allow them to more easily rebalance prices too. The team worked on economic implications of freight elevators and started balancing the time and costs of using them. They also investigated UEC income and began taking actions to prevent exploits and rebalance mission rewards, and investigated exploits relating to ship claim time and prices. The Arena Commander feature team focused on closing out essential refactors and polishing tasks before they transitioned to supporting the Persistent Universe in a more permanent capacity. They also worked on some upcoming special events. They've been completing work on the Kill Collector experimental mode for Alpha 3.22, including a system that allows devs to replace the collection item depending on both the game mode and active event. Further work was done on the special events and award system, including prerequisite requirements, allowing the team to implement exclusive awards. This work also included the addition of unique loading screens, backgrounds, and a banner that displays on the front end when an event or experimental mode is active, the latter including a countdown until the next rotation. Experimentation also began with an in-game FPS loadout customizer, utilizing the new spawn screen, For engineering, the team successfully completed the initial tests of enabling streaming in Arena Commander. This will enable them to deliver improved performance to the module and use any persistent universe location without limitations. Previously, some locations, such as ones near cities, were unable to be used without significant additional work. With streaming, the turnaround on porting any location to Arena Commander will be minimal, so expect to see more interesting locations and city locations in the future. Level design completed work on 3 new racetracks, with 1 more in progress for a new game mode. A brand new track around the Pyro Jump Point was also created specifically to test the new Master modes, classic race game mode for Alpha 3.22. The team created a prototype mode that saw a successful playtest and will be further worked upon in 2024 as well. The team completed a new Gravlev racing game mode, which was debuted at DreamHack Atlanta. Graphics teams largely progressed with longer-term goals, working on the visuals of gas clouds. They've been improving the gas cloud system and unifying it with the planetary cloud system. They've been working on ray tracing. Vulcan is reaching the final stages of its development as well, with the team wrapping up on the last of their renderer tech. They're doing some improvements to shaders, trying to reduce stuttering, polishing a load of stuff. The Planet Tech team continued wrapping up the water feature, focusing on robustness, memory usage, and performance. Alongside this, the graphics team improved the water edge effects, both against the environment and the visor/camera lens. VFX programming worked towards finishing off fire hazard visuals. This also had them investigating networking support for the fire hazard systems and adding support for water VFX. Narrative team obviously hugely involved with the release of Alpha 3.22, the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, all that sort of jazz. They were involved with those awesome dioramas for careers at IAE and the Garmin Humble videos and the social influencer videos and stuff. It's all pretty cool stuff. They also helped support the structural salvage and derelict settlements, cargo containers, Arena Commander, the Luminalia event. They are now planning their work for the Persistent Universe for the rest of 2024, including new missions that will be more narratively focused, and discussed how to best utilize guilds and factions as players progress and earn reputation. Time was also dedicated to improving the generalized NPC voice pack to streamline it and make it more functional, with an eye towards making the universe more immersive while still manageable for the scope of Star Citizen. R&D, they spent time on atmospheres and clouds and ground fog. Tech Art and Animation worked on an outfit manager that will pull together a full set of assets for any character outfit in game, which will help the animation teams author specific content. Previously missing from the pipeline, the physics proxy tools creation was added for an intuitive and streamlined way to help create physicalized skeletons in Maya. Tech Animation authored and fixed more head assets, refined existing pipelines, continued developing game engine animation systems, and time was spent authoring new creatures for the game. Animation spent time bringing creatures to the verse, starting with a 4-legged predator, a bird, and fish. They also continued working on facial animations for increased line count and fidelity. Character art completed the legendary Duster outfit and the racing flight suit helmet. They continued working on the racing flight suit itself and prepared an outfit for subscriber flair. Along with this, R&D was done for creatures. The character concept art team started an exploration phase on features for the character customizer and for other creatures as well. VFX worked on structural salvage for the Drake Vulture and Aegis Reclaimer. They also provided effects for new locations and existing location reworks, including several new derelicts and Repel, a rather hellish environment with the ground literally burning. AI content have been fixing and improving social AI. Once in a more robust state, they start implementing various Squadron 42 features and behaviors. In the meantime, they revived the civilian behavior. This involved fixing basic AI usables such as chairs, seats, and rails across various locations, and identifying outdated usable setups and communicating with the props team to bring them up to date. Maybe we won't see people standing on chairs anymore and T-posing on them. Voice packs and behaviors were updated for the hawker, vendor, admin, and bartender AI across different stations and landing zones. Now NPCs will have the proper voice packs assigned to them with their behaviors, triggering lines correctly. NPCs will also use their usables correctly with better animations rather than just standing still. However, some shops might not have full functionality due to lacking proper usables. They also identified and fixed a selection of security the AI bugs in Lorville's transit area. This involved implementing some of Squadron 42's security behaviors, including sentry and guards, and giving NPCs appropriate voice packs. AI content also worked with level design to implement Squadron 42's engineer and security behaviors across different areas with limited functionality. AI features continue to improve AI, fixed a load of bugs, dealing with slow AI reactions, them not spawning appropriately or working correctly during missions. They said, like the infamous standing on chairs issue, AI being slow to react doesn't have a single cause, but highlights a range of issues that appear to manifest as the same problem. Each cause needs to be individually investigated and a solution proposed, and often this requires hours of testing and debugging to find the precise conditions under which the specific issue occurs. Often issues are intermittent or only manifest in specific missions at specific locations. But yeah, they're debugging these issues. AI features also worked on AI issues identified with the replication layer, where states weren't being correctly restored. The replication layer is obviously a core component of server meshing, allowing the AI to migrate between servers or restore their states after a server crash. AI Deck progressed with features and support for release builds for boids. So these are small animals, creatures, swarms, things like that. They're close to finalizing the first iteration that will allow them to place fish, rodents, and birds in the environment. Recent updates include rules to avoid dangerous areas or actors. Transition rules will detect weapons fired, bullets hit, and the ability to switch from idle to wandering to a fleeing rule set. The team also further iterated on killing boids and how they transition from an animation-driven state to a ragdoll. For birds, they extended the number of wandering states. For example, besides flying, birds can also walk after landing. Synchronization between the server and client is currently being worked on. Effort was put on optimizing and improving various features, including the Pathfinder algorithm, collision avoidance and navigation systems, and subsumption loading logic. For AI ladders, new functionality was added so AI can appropriately wait for another character going the opposite direction before they actually get on the ladder themselves. On the ship AI side, the team improved and extended spline functionality. This involved allowing ships to move along a spline while staying orientated towards the target and moving to the beginning of a spline that's already moving, e.g. a spline attached to a different ship. AI Tech started to look for a better solution to generating the navigation mesh on planets, as the current implementation could be faster and has problems generating the navigation mesh close to planetary poles, which is affecting some outpost locations and their associated NPCs. This is currently in progress and an update will be provided in a future report. Boom! That's it for your Star Citizen Persistent Universe update. We will be taking a look at the Squadron 42 update at some point in the near future. I am really interested to know your thoughts on, are you excited for the Polaris? Do you think it's going to be done by the end of the year? I think that's almost certain. But do you think some other RSI ships will also be done by the end of the year, maybe like the Perseus and stuff like that? Are you looking forward to the new sort of missions that Cloud Imperium have got planned that they're going to be implementing over the coming months? What about economy updates, or are you excited by the fact that a lot more devs are going to be working on the Persistent Universe and the Persistent Universe's sort of core features now? Even some of the teams coming off Arena Commander to focus on the Persistent Universe. You've got all those Squadron 42 teams focusing on the Persistent Universe now. When will we see engineering gameplay and sort of fire and fire propagation? When are we going to have Vulcan actually integrated into game properly? Are you excited for animals coming into the game this year? Whatever your thoughts or questions, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. The giant ape climbed the skyscraper, swatting at helicopters that harassed him. You look up at the massive 50-foot creature of muscle and hair. He's got you firmly in his grasp. Any more pressure and you'd snap like a twig. He brings you to his mouth, and then you realise you should have got yourself nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. It would have provided you security and anonymity, preventing the great ape from finding you, but also accessibility to some of your favourite shows. Check out the links below for a massive discount and to help support the channel. Talking about supporting the channel, you can help by pressing that join button under my videos or even becoming a Patreon with the links below again. That goes a long way to helping us make daily Star Citizen content. A massive thank you to everyone that does that already or supports the channel in other ways like commenting, liking and sharing videos. We are just about to hit 200,000 subscribers, which is awesome, seeing we are a niche Star Citizen dedicated channel. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For January 2024, we are giving away a Drake Corsair. This is a very popular multi-role, multi-crew explorer ship that is very good at a huge range of stuff in the verse. It also comes with lifetime insurance and a game package, all you need to play Star Citizen, and all you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during this month. More details in the video description. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out my channel and other videos on there as well, and I'll see you in the verse.